So it's Imperial College London, the British squad on the right, and on the left, Brown University. Let's just listen to his instruction.
When I see you're both straight and ready, I'll start you like this. Attention, go. Get ready, please.
Down past the grandstand.
Attention, go!
And Sir Matthew Pinson gets this semi-final of the Princess Grace Challenge Cup underway. Brown University of Rhode Island, America on the left, and it's the British national squad rowing here as Imperial College and Tees Rowing Club. They're on the right. Little wobble on the steering, Matt, but a safe start.
Looks as though the Brits have got away very cleanly and have pulled into a slight lead at this point from this angle. And the Americans, again, suffering with that wind from left to right. You can see the St George cross. The wind's got a little bit lighter, and they have still had to steer back. And look at this lead. You can't even see Brown in the picture. So a really, really strong start. What an exciting start, and what an exciting talent in this British women's squad.
So British women's quad sculling, of course, if you're watching this with memories, you'll remember that quadruple scull with Catherine Granger and Fran Horton, of course, who's in that boat. She's one away from the Jess Layden, the girl with the fair hair, the tall Frances Houghton. She was in that quad that suffered a crushing defeat in the Olympic final, just rode through in the final 200 metres by China in 2008. That's the quality of these women on the right of your picture, and Brown on the left cannot live with that pace. Yeah,
it's tough for Brown here. I think firstly they're a stone a woman less weight than the British crew, which is a real disadvantage in this headwind. And secondly, they're racing a world-class opposition coming from one university, Brown University. Hello to you if you're watching live on the East Coast there in the US. We've got a lot of people watching in groups. This new innovation, having Henley streaming live on YouTube and on the Regatta site. Share it with your friends, tell them about it. There'll be some amazing racing tomorrow as well. Looking forward to seeing some of those things, but right now the Brown crew trying to get into the rhythm, but it's really all over for them.
So you can see how cruel this sport of rowing is. Brown University from the United States, from Providence, Rhode Island, and closest to us is their stroke woman, Cicely Madden, 20 years old. Behind her, the tallest woman in the boat, Corinne Coco Scholar. Jamie Coven, who's a Brown alumnus here as a Henley Stewart, a colleague of yours, Matt. He told me that she will be going to Princeton for US trials for the national team. So it's really important for her that she puts in a good performance in this race. But the British women's quad, they seem to have found their mojo. Last year they weren't in the final of the World Championships, Matt, of course, as you know, and fourth place in the Europeans. Perhaps not such a strong performance in World Cup 2, but they've certainly shown that they can live with the world's top quads. Of course, the Germans are the world champions, and this British women's quad aren't quite up to that speed. But you can see how well they're sculling, and it does look great, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, they went off like a rocket off that start, really put a marker down straight away. You don't often see that much lead open up so fast, and this is the crew from Brown are no slow coaches here. Really strong rowing school, Brown, and they've had a lot of investment in their programme over the years. There's a huge contingent here in Henley today watching as well and supporting them.
Do you know, I can't wait for the drone shot, because I think with a quadruple scull, to see those blades so close together and the synchronicity, if we're going to get a drone shot, that will be fantastic. Because, and there we go, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. It's beautiful to watch a quadruple scull. The 8 is so exciting, but to see those blades so close together, Matt, the 8 blades, is just one of the delights of the sport. And I know we got some of the reflection of the sun on the water there, but it is synchronicity.
Well, they look like an insect, don't they? They look like a water boatman. I mean, in a good way. They look like a water boatman skating along there beautifully. It's poetic when you see rowing like this. In fact, both crews sculling pretty well. A gorgeous day here. The Princess Grace Cup, named after Princess Grace of Monaco. And did you know, Martin, I know you're interested in history, that her brother, Jack Kelly, won the Diamonds Gold, the top event for men, in the 40s twice here at Henley, and that led to the connection and the Princess Grace Cup, which was awarded in 2001 for the first time. She herself gave prizes here at Henley in 1981.
That's a great shout, Matt, because I got a prize from her when I won the Stewards' Cup in 1981. And thank you for that cue. But there we're looking at the bow woman of the British quad, Mel Wilson from Sport Imperial, going down the boat to Chrissy Stiller, then Fran Horton, the tall woman, the veteran in the 3-seat with the distinctive colours of the Tyrian, the University of London Alumni Club, and then Jess Layden. Well, she's rowing here for Leander Club, but have done so much to support her. Of course, when she started, she came from the northwest, from Hollingworth Lake Rowing Club up there near Rochdale. She rowed on the lake there, and that club, which has brought so many of Britain's top internationals to fruition, has seen Jess Layden become the first British woman to win the single sculls title as a junior. So if you're watching from Hollingworth Lake, thank you for all the work you do for British rowing. Thank you for passing Jess Layden on to Leander Club and their fantastic facilities, and thank you for the support you are giving by watching this broadcast.
I know there are people watching all around the world. We have viewers in Australia, in America, North and South, and across Europe, and it's great to see what's possible. And I'd encourage any juniors who are just taking up the sport to believe it's possible to come here and compete in these conditions, because many members of the national squads first competed in Henley, particularly the British, with the junior events we have now. One of the things I'm most excited to see is these top-class women's events at Henley, really showcasing the strength of the women's sport here, and that's something that has built and built over the last 15, 20 years. Support from the lottery has really made a difference there as well, but one of the most important things is the inspiration that women like these, both crews, provide to junior women coming into the sport.
And in the purple top there, Fran Horton, as she just sculls past it, it's so great to see her back and winning, because she's had such a struggle with back injury. She's such a tall woman, and she really has struggled with disc problems, and now she's done so much work with the British team's physio, a core stability, a strength around the middle, just to be part of this team. I know she was so disappointed in the 2012 Olympics, and of course it took us such a long time to get over that crushing defeat in Beijing, where the crew that won the world title in 2007 had to settle for Olympic silver. Of course, that set up that fantastic race for Kath Granger, where she finally won Olympic gold in 2012 with Anna Watkins. But of course, Fran Houghton has yet to win that Olympic gold, and maybe this is part of her road towards Rio and the quest for a gold medal.
And there's one of our greatest Olympians, Matthew Pinson, standing on the front of that umpire's launch, looking at these girls behind. Brown having a bit of problem with their steering there, but Matthew's not needing to warn them. They're well behind the British girls now.
Just struck you could see the gust of wind. Yeah. I mean, the blades on the right-hand side of the boat are just flying into the air. And I'm sure that Catherine Starr, who coaches the Brown University, will not have coached them to row like that, and they're really struggling in those gusts of wind. But I think it's testament to the technique of the British crew that they're so fluid and so relaxed, even in the wind, as gusting as it is.
These top crews make it look easy. I was out there this morning before racing started, rowing down the track, and it's pretty tough conditions here. Blustery side winds and then a strong headwind. They're not the best conditions. We won't see records today. Yesterday was very fast. Today is quite heavy by comparison. Here come the British crew. They'll be very pleased with that. Rocket fast start, very controlled race from then onwards. Lovely rhythm, and very together crew. If they easy, that means stop rowing as they cross the line. Wait for their opposition to cross to applaud them and cheer them.
So the British national quad rowing here as Imperial College and Tees Rowing Club. Tees Rowing Club, I think the club of Chrissy Stiller. They give 3 cheers to their valiant opponents from Brown University of the USA. Wasn't to be for them. They did lose to the better crew.